Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you 5 fragrances that I feel are absolutely worth the hype. So these are fragrances you probably heard about before. I want to weigh in and tell you why I think they're amazing. And before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community because this community is awesome and you need to be a part of it. So without further ado, let's get into this. First fragrance that has been hyped up forever is BELLE by Jean-Paul Gaultier. This one is just a beautiful, feminine, sweet with a little bit of spicy pear fragrance. So the stars of the show in this fragrance are pear and vanilla. So you definitely get that pear, you get the vanilla, it smells juicy and delicious. The pear smells super ripe, it smells cooked in some sort of spices. There's almost a booziness in this one. Apparently there's leather in this. I don't get the leather. All I get is this beautiful, juicy pear vanilla with spices. So this is absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of one of those intoxicating fragrances that are perfect for date night. This is definitely a fragrance that men really enjoy because of that sweet component. And to me, it's just girly feminine. There's never a time that I put this on that I don't feel pretty. Like whenever I put it on, I feel pretty. This one lasts a really decent amount of time as well. Like you're gonna get like about 7 hours, maybe longer. So excellent projector. You smell beautiful, flirty, feminine, pretty. I think those are the best descriptors for this. And yeah, if you love pear, this is a fantastic one. So many women love this one. I haven't smelt the Le Parfum version, but I really, really want to smell it. But this one, absolutely gorgeous. It's basically a fragrance you can wear year round. So during the fall, winter, I tend to wear this during the day, but it also carries into the evening. And then in the spring and summer, I tend to reserve this more for evening wear. So love, 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 love this fragrance. Super popular for great reason. Next fragrance that I feel is really worth the hype. Tons of people have talked about it on YouTube, and it's LIRA from XERJOFF, and this is part of the Casmerati line. Now, honestly, I've smelt 3 or 4 of the fragrances from the Casmerati line, and I just think they're all fantastic. So basically I want to own them all because they're so good. This one has a ton of notes, including orange and lavender. What it doesn't have in it is lemon, and lemon is kind of what my nose perceives. So to me, this is a smoky lemon pound cake all the way. It's absolutely delicious. It's warm, it's inviting, it's cozy, it's elegant. So even though it's got those gourmand qualities, it's not fully gourmand. Sometimes we like to have a little bit of that delectable kind of foodie feel, but we don't want to smell straight up like food. So this one's great because you get that kind of lemon pound cake feel, but there's still enough going on there to make it smell sophisticated. So I just think that this is absolutely gorgeous, perfect for the fall and the winter. Lasts a decent amount of time, projects beautifully. So I just think that this is absolutely so scrumptious. It's a scrumptious smelling fragrance with a hint of smokes. So there's a little bit of sexiness to it. At the same time, I can see guys really enjoying smelling this one on a girl too, just because it's, you know, a little bit tasty. Like they might want to come in for a bit of a nibble. Just say it. Next fragrance that I think is completely worth the hype is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. Now, this is a very popular fragrance. Some people don't like it. It's flooded the market, so many women have this, but for good reason. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you have this warm orange with this bergamot. There's vanilla. I've talked about this recently. Not only is it classy and feminine, this is something that you can wear literally all year round. So it's great for a signature scent, but beyond that, this one is such a powerhouse. So although it's a citrus floral with some woody components, this thing lasts forever, like 10, 12 hours you can smell this, at least on me. So I just think that this is such a great fragrance in regards to value, and also in regards to it being a beautiful signature scent fragrance. This is a major compliment getter as well. So I just think it's beautiful. I haven't smelt the Intense. I don't know why, but every time I go in to smell it, I haven't seen it. But I really want to smell the Intense version. Maybe I have smelt it just to remember. But the original is gorgeous. I'm so happy with this. It's one that I would always want in my collection because it's just one of those easy reach, great fragrances to just throw on. So highly recommend checking this one out. Plus it's Chanel, so it's just kind of, it looks pretty on the vanity. I know a lot of people go, oh, everyone wears it. Who cares? Like, I really don't understand. Who cares? Like, everybody wears all the fragrances, really. So I'm not worried about smelling unique necessarily. I want to smell good, because the reality is that I'm unique. Like, I'm the unique one. So I don't care about a fragrance being unique so much as me rocking it because I'm unique and I'm just going to smell awesome. So I just think this is definitely worth checking out, for sure. The next fragrance that's been hyped up on YouTube, but I think it's worth the hype, honestly, is L'Extase by Nina Ricci. Now, when this was first being hyped up, I didn't actually like it and didn't think it was worth the hype at all. Now, I'm in love with it. Like, seriously, I love this fragrance. So there's a little bit of a powdery quality, but what you get is this beautiful rose with some caramel and vanilla in there. There's some woodiness in here as well, but mainly it's that rose-centric fragrance. There's a hint of powder, I would say. It smells very sensual, very feminine, very soft and slightly seductive. This is a fragrance, like, you know those women that never try to be sexy, but they just are, like, they smell uber feminine. To me, this is like somehow so uber feminine. So I just love this fragrance. There's a jammy quality, or a little bit kind of syrupy with that added caramel in there. So I just absolutely think that this one's beautiful, and it's also extremely affordable, so definitely worth checking out as well. And honestly, any of the fragrances in the L'Extase line are hyper beautiful. They're Francis Kurkdjian creations, so that's kind of neat too. Now, the last fragrance that honestly I think is worth the hype is BACCARAT Rouge 540. Now, I don't own it. I have a sample of the XERJOFF. I've smelt the original, of course, and I actually prefer the XERJOFF, but really thousands and thousands and thousands of people love that fragrance. So not everyone will, but overall it's a very sweet, delicious fragrance. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, there's the saffron adds a little bit of spiciness. There's somehow maybe a woody component, but the sweetness, and it's just kind of airy and delicate. And yet it projects so beautifully. So BACCARAT Rouge 540 or the XERJOFF, simply gorgeous. And the reality is that it's one of those fragrances that has been duped like hundreds of times. So everyone's trying to create their own version because it's that popular. So if anything was a masterpiece, it would actually have to be BACCARAT Rouge 540 by MAISON Francis Kurkdjian, because really, if everybody's trying to dupe it, that means that it's popular for a reason. So, you know, this one, for whatever reason, the XERJOFF just gets me. Like, it's really, really, there's a depth to it. So I prefer the XERJOFF version, but whether it's the XERJOFF or the regular, they're really, really beautiful. You know, if you want something with a similar vibe, of course there's dupes, but there's also fragrances like Burberry Her, which has kind of a similar vibe. Cloud has a similar vibe, but really they don't hold a candle to the actual BACCARAT Rouge. So I just think that this is beautiful and full on worth the hype. Smells great on men and women. I just think it's gorgeous. And that is it. Those are my 5 hyped fragrances that I think are definitely worth sniffing. I feel like all of these have been hyped at some point. They're definitely worth checking out because they're really fabulous fragrances. So what about you? What are fragrances that you think have been super hyped up and are definitely worth the hype? Leave them in the comments. If you've got 5, leave 5, but if you've got 1, leave 1. I would love to know, so would the rest of the community. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.